We have drama in the AI world. Windsurf, which is a very large coding company, notable because it's allegedly in talks right now to be acquired by OpenAI, says that Anthropic, now I guess a competitor, is limiting its access to essentially put Claude and the new Claude 4 model into it for its developers to use for code. This is a really big deal because Claude 4 is the best code model. Anthropic always makes the best model. It's the most popular model with developers. And if they're not allowing this company to Windsurf to use it, this is a, potentially a kneecapping experience for this company as far as its growth with developers. People are just going to stop using it. So there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of why. Anthropic has responded. Their, accusations are flying, and the plot is getting a lot thicker. So I'm going to be diving into all of that today on the podcast. Before I do, if you want to try out the latest versions of Claude or the latest versions of any AI model, my product AI box and our new playground has launched officially. We have a beta out right now. And if you want access to the top 40 AI models, not just text, but also image, audio, and you want to be able to chat with all of them in the same interface, so you can literally generate an image with OpenAI's image generator and then ask Anthropic a question, and then go to DeepSeek and get it to give you a summary of something, all in the same chat interface. It's $20 a month, $19.99. And instead of paying $19 for all of these different platforms, you could just pay $19 and get access to all of them here. So the website is aibox.ai. You can go check that out. The link is in the description. But let's get back into what's going on with Windsurf. So this all started with a tweet from the CEO, Varun Mohan. He said, this is pretty crazy. He says, with less than 5 days of notice, Anthropic decided to cut off nearly all of our first-party capacity to all Claude 3.x, so anything above 3, models. Given the short notice, we may see some short-term Claude 3.x model availability issues as we have very quickly ramped up capacity on other inference. So the thing that's interesting here is because of the way the market works, they're actually not completely cut off from Claude. They have a bit of a falling out, and I'm going to get into the falling out here. But what's interesting is there's third-party vendors that they're actually using, so they're actually able to still get access, and they have a way to get developers direct access. It's a little bit trickier, but I'll go over that. I'll get into the rest of what he said. He said, we have very quickly ramped up capacity on other inference providers, but we believe we have now secured significant near-term capacity. We've been very clear to Anthropic that this is not our desire. We wanted to pay them for the full capacity. We're disappointed by this decision and short notice. Gemini 2.5 Pro, now very high quality on Windsurf, new 0.75x Pro rate, GPT 4.1, and more are all unaffected. We look forward to our continued partnership with all model providers. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, wait. One last juicy thing on this. Logan Kilpatrick, who is over at Google, working with Google Gemini, commented on this and said, he just said Gemini and then the handshake emoji, Windsurf. Like, don't worry, Gemini's not going to stop supporting you. We got your back. What's going on here? Why did this happen? It seems like essentially Anthropic came and cut off access to Anthropic for Windsurf, which is huge. Windsurf is the second biggest AI coding tool, I think, after Cursor and maybe GitHub Copilot somewhere in there. So maybe it's the third biggest after that. But the one that most like developers are using, I hear of, are Cursor, and then I think Windsurf is the next one. That's why I think OpenAI is looking to acquire, or in talks to acquire. So essentially what happened was, I believe, and this isn't going to be the official story you'll hear anywhere, but I believe that because OpenAI is in the process of acquiring Windsurf, once they do that, they're probably going to try to set the default AI model to something from OpenAI anyways, and they'll probably offer others, I would hope. I mean, if they don't, then it probably will just kill it anyways. I hope they'll offer other models, but they're probably going to set the default to themselves. They know that this is going to be a tricky relationship. They're essentially going to be helping a direct competitor. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I say, why not? Why not take money from OpenAI? Like, if OpenAI is really going to be, buying this company and spending credits on your platform, why wouldn't you sell it? But apparently they don't want to do that. And the reason that they have outlined for that is this is a direct response to this whole situation that an Anthropic spokesperson, Steve Munch, said. He said, we're prioritizing capacity of sustainable partnerships that allow us to effectively serve the broader developer community. So evidently Windsurf is no longer a sustainable partnership because they're going to be going and being owned by a competitor. To me, that's crazy. But what they did say, and this is still possible. They said, Developers can also access Claude through our direct API integration, our partner ecosystem, and other development tools. So they're like, look, if you guys really want Claude that bad and you can't get it over at Windsurf, just go use some other developer tools. Cough, cough, our own Claude Code, which I'm not going to lie, over at my company, AI Box, we exclusively use Claude Code and we use it heavily. I think it's, we're spending $100 in credits every couple days, I think, right at this point, per developer. So we're using it very heavily. We're absolutely blown away by the amount of work and code that we're able to generate and the amount of work we're able to get done with it. So it's really good. And Claude Code's cool because it plugs into your whole database. Sorry, not your whole database, your whole code base, front end and back end. It can tie everything together. It can work between the two, talk between the two, do some really insane, impressive things. So it's great. Is this kind of anti-competitive, cutting off your big competitor? Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem very, very cool, especially like, I think a lot of people will be like, oh, it's fine. Windsurf's getting bought by OpenAI, so it's just a competitive thing to OpenAI. But it's not really, because maybe OpenAI hasn't bought them yet, or maybe the deal's going to fall through. So at the end of the day, they're still kind of shafting. And maybe if OpenAI bought it, they could do that. But right now, they're still shafting Windsurf. Like, this is, a company that trusted them. It's some developers that trusted them with their model and bringing it on. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's a very, very nice move. That being said, Windsurf is growing really quickly. They've reached over $100 million in annual recurring revenue just in April. So they're getting close to catching up to Cursor. They're getting close to catching up to GitHub Copilot. But this, I really do think, is going to limit their growth. Like I mentioned, Claude Code is the only platform I use, and I know a lot of developers, that's the only platforms they are using as well. So yes, you can go bring your own API key and I think plug it into Windsurf. So you can go get an Anthropic API key, plug it into Windsurf, and still have access to it. It's technically through your account and not Windsurf's account. This is definitely, apparently this is more expensive. This is what some people are saying. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't verified that. Some people are saying that that's still more expensive. And if that's the case, then of course, why would you do that when you could go use it less expensive, perhaps somewhere else like Cursor? But either way, not a cool move. I think this is pretty rough for Windsurf. A lot of developers only use that, and so they literally will just go switch over to Cursor or another platform and use that instead. So very, very crazy to see what's going on. A lot of drama in the AI landscape. I will keep you up to date on everything going on. If you enjoyed this episode, if you learned anything new about AI code and all of the drama in the industry, make sure to leave a rating and review on the podcast, and make sure to go check out AIbox.ai if you want a platform where you can access Claude, all the latest models of OpenAI, all the latest, the 20 biggest AI companies and all of the different models for $20 a month. You're going to get access to all of it, including image generation and audio generation, by the way. All of that's in there, AIbox.ai. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.